Asikuvusele mbukeli namhla elihlelweni lethu lelimnanzi kakhulu la khona sisho sithi love exists. We are the Gamedze sihleli nawe elihlelweni vusela umbukeli sithando sami.
Thank you, honey. Ngiyabingelela mbukeli. Welcome to our beautiful show once again.
Yes, sibuyile elihlelweni lethu umbukeli la khona sicoca khona tindzaba temshado, tindzaba teluthando. Unfortunately namuhla mbukeli lihlelo lethu lekugcina la khona sikuvalelisa elihlelweni lethu lokuthi love exists. Sitawuhlala nawe sicoce nawe sibuke ukuthi sisuke phi nelihlelo sibuke ukuthi yini lesiyifundzile sehlelo netivakashi tethu elihlelweni sikhona ukuthi sihlomisane nawe. Ake sicocele umbukeli sithanda sami.
I'm actually laughing. I'm actually laughing because I'm wondering if you remember.
I'm the one who started this whole game. So, ngiyakumbula, I think nangikumbula kahle, I was staying at Matapa, and then she came. I was staying with my dad, Matapa, and she came. Wato hlala la besihlala khona ku compound besihlala kuyo. When she came, I didn't care. Didn't even note nje ukuthi somebody maybe lengahle ngibe interested kuye. I remember ukuthi when I started noting her, it was 2014. It was 2014. I remember very well ukuthi one of the things that kicked le relationship noma lokuqala my interest kwaba ukuthi you were looking for a job, ne?
I think I was looking to change my employer because I already had a job when we met.
Yes. So usisi wethu abenako ukuqhamuka tobole kaliphepha ndzaba lapha endlini ukuthi funa kuchecka ukuthi ema post emisebenzi akhona yini.
Yeah, I remember
so that. We started then ukuthi sikhona ukuxoxisana through ukuthi utakutobole kaliphepha. I remember ukuthi nami I started noting ukuthi yeah, this one is beautiful. Yeah, one of the things that captured me, it's her beauty. So I remember then started kucoca, we started then sharing numbers. Sibe nako kucoca shayelane. Yeah.
And a lot of texting. Yo.
Yeah, it was a lot of texting. WhatsApp was there?
I don't remember, but I remember we used a lot of texting because we would spend a lot of time on chats.
Yeah.
Like sliding about 10 while chatting angisakhumbula which platforms we would use, but nje ngiyakhumbula ukuthi bekukuncane kakhulu lokushaya kokuningi lokubhalelana.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we met in that way. Then I started proposing. 2014, I think I remember it was around April 2014.
Yeah.
Yeah. Started proposing. Yeah, one thing I can say, the process took long. And kwaba khona ukuthi kule process kwaba ne give up ukuthi hayi no asiyekele.
Yeah, at some point we really didn't want to talk to each other, right?
No one wanted to talk to the other because these things seem like it's not gonna work.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I
think you were too analytic on your decision. And I was too sensitive because I felt like I could read through you, could see you're not even sure if you are asking to marry me or you're still just even trying to find out if you want this marriage. Or and I caught through Mugeli because it just felt, I don't know, my sensitivity was heightened around the same time that he started proposing, because I had made a prayer to God to say, you know, I was in a relationship, got a child out of wedlock, and I knew that as a Christian who had fallen into sin and had a child out of wedlock, I knew the next relationship I wanted to be in wasn't just a mere relationship, you know.
Yeah.
I sort of like just had my standards in my head. So Buti here was just, I think somehow he was in a world of conviction from the Holy Spirit and wanting things the way that he wanted them in his head.
that's one of the things that cause friction. As a young man, I grew up. I remember I had a friend, Lebesi. Sinana principle, let's say, no, we're not gonna get married to somebody with a child. So I love this person, but kuna na ingcingwana lengivungathi yatikelana ngane principle yokuthi I will never one not angimfuni. So I was fighting that, but I remember one of the things le young sister to realize you know what, you are just playing yourself, and this is the woman that I've predestined for you. I went to prayer. I asked a friend. We went to prayer. I went to fasting, and we prayed about this issue. Ngulungulu nje akangiside to give me direction ngokuthi okay, and nalo ukuthi alethe lokugcwaliseka la enhlitweni ngokuthi okay, this is the person, and if it's not the one, Nkulunkulu will just reveal it.
Yeah.
So we went to prayer and prayed about it, and guess what? The Lord just put a stamp ngokuthi you are just playing yourself, my boy.
Yeah.
This is your destiny.
And here we are 7 years later into marriage.
Yeah, from there we then got along. We were in love, and we started preparing for kushada. You can tell them about the engagement.
Yeah, I remember that. My dear boyfriend at that time and myself thought we really didn't want anything expensive attached to our plans, because I think the funny thing is we had already thought of the marriage side of things, and somehow we were already ahead. These are our priorities, which was amongst many things buying land and buying a car. So we felt like at the for the engagement. But I remember that our parents in the Lord and our physical parents were like, you know what, guys, we are doing this. We are doing this, you guys are getting engaged. There's no way you both are not getting engaged. I remember that Pastor Zandi specifically said, oh sis, there's no way you're not going to do this. And we gave in willingly. We were not forced into it. We were just, our eyes were opened towards the importance of being engaged first before we can then go into marriage. Remember, we did that. We had a very beautiful occasion. I looked beautiful. And my dear husband here looked really awesome as well. It was a successful ceremony at my church, which was Manzini Sword and Spirit at that time. Yeah, I remember, even when we were doing the engagement, we actually didn't even wanted to have lunch or something. Like but I remember that one of our beautiful friends was like, oh no guys, we'll take you out for lunch after engagement. Had a beautiful afternoon, and then because the counseling, I think we had already started counseling by the time we went. So there was a lot of pressure mounting in from all sides, especially financial pressure, because I believe at that time it was around about the same time that you lost your job.
Yeah, it was hectic. We are one of those couples that got married without a job. The guy didn't have a job. Fortunately, this beautiful lady was working. But yeah, with the help of God and our friends and our parents and everybody who's around us,
yeah,
we were able to have a beautiful wedding.
Yeah.
One of the highlights emshado wethu, it was the fact that I missed time.
You are such a timekeeper. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I like keeping time, but something happened with the cars that were supposed to transport my team. We had to wait for a car. Somebody took a car vinyl sprayed, so we left stranded.
Please tell them you also wanted to get into a Corsa utility van.
I was ready to take a Corsa and get into a Corsa and just go to my wedding.
Oh gosh.
Because people were waiting for me, and our MC said, "Hey, umkhwenyane ukhohle ukufaka libhande, so go late." So yeah, but it was a beautiful day.
Yeah.
The other thing I remember, attendance was good, but yeah, we had a lot of food that was left.
Yeah.
People ate
Wasala.
I'll never forget the people who were helping us to organize umshado wethu. Our matron actually what decided ukuthi kudlalo kwasala utakupakisha kahle pakishe tikaftinini nasemabhakedini kwangena efridgini.
Yeah.
We ate that food for 3 months.
Yeah, I think we did. Actually, I'm not sure about 3, honey, but it was such a long time. I remember that it's one of the things that we would go back to say our dear family friend, Mrs. Makongo, had cooked that nice meal for our wedding. I remember that we kept on saying, "Hi, baby, shisi beef yabage Makongo." Such that at some point I'd even joke about it to her at church to say, "Beef yakho sayiphelile endlini. Please cook us another thing."
Mbukeli siyachubeka nekuxoxisana kwethu. We've invited guests in this show. Sinotile tintfo letinengi lele bativeta ukuthi emshadweni yini mhlambe lesingakunaka njengabantu abashadile.
Yeah.
So we want to take a few of those and just discuss them with you ukuthi naku lesiphikile sabona ukuthi tivakashi tethu tithi imishado ayinake naku nanako.
Yeah.
One of the things that came up, I remember ukuthi sikhulumile ngema expectations ukuthi nani ifike emshadweni niqhamuka nema expectations.
Yeah.
What can you say, my love, mhlambe lesikuvile nalokubonile wena ukuthi my expectations afike endene emshadweni?
Yeah. Thank you so much, honey. I think a lot of the things that were discussed here will sound a whole lot familiar for a lot of married people. Mm-hmm. Especially because I notice nje ukuthi lamanye alama expectations are universal. Like ukuthi I would expect ukuthi ngidawuhlala i-attention ya husband ngihlala ngiyithola or i-attention ya wife ngihlala ngiyithola. Noma sekufike esigabeni where there are now kids that are introduced into the marriage. Mm-hmm. I think it's okay for people to expect, but ngicabanga lokho ukuthi njengoba our beautiful guests had already shared ukuthi kukahle kakhulu naloku wa voice out lama expectations sometimes, because a lot of the times failed marriages are not failed because the people don't love each other anymore. No, it's just usually you're just unable to have an upkeep of the things that I have as my standards in my head, you know. as the expectations or as the principles, like you've already mentioned, could see before you chose me, could see these are the kind of things that you'd like to look into into a wife. So Mbugeli, I think as you have those wishes, especially wishes, dreams and aspirations, well, before you get married, it's advisable to have an open communication of those things. Yes. We are also allowed to have change of mind, and I think as females also, we change our minds a lot. I feel like as my friend, as my best friend, I'm allowed to change my mind in terms of my expectations. But for instance, we wanted to build a rendezvous home, and then I wake up another morning before we start building, double story. Keep her to me logo, because I'll be very disappointed one day when you say tada, keys to a rendezvous home, only to find that my expectations has changed. But you're the first person that I should bounce. Maybe I don't know about bouncing off ideas, but I love bouncing off ideas with my friend, because another thing about him is that if my ideas are too crazy, he's gonna just laugh it off and he's gonna tell me it's Anna baby, no.
Scrutinize.
And then he's gonna also put in the accountant minds and all of those things, the eyes that I don't have into the idea. And he's also gonna advise further as a man, as my man actually, not just as a man of the home. So as Sibanaula, my expectations and aspirations, the greatest and the biggest thing that we can do for our spouses is to communicate. Keep it to yourself, the expectation, because you'll be disappointed every day.
Yeah, one of the other things when it comes to my expectations, it's the adjustment.
Yeah.
We would say now you're expecting as a husband as babe Gamedze, we would say when each and every day. We've learned we say it is not always like you are going to eat if when as a man you came in and said, I know mine angeke ngidle kudla kwase restaurant nasengishadile.
Yeah.
She has to make sure ukuthi she cooks for me every day.
And you used to say ngifuna chicken dust.
Yeah, it is not possible. Ukuthi she will always cook for you. So you should be able to adjust as a man ukuthi kunemalanga la khona angeke khona kupheka khona. Kunemalanga la khona angeka khona ukayinela khona. I remember when we recently got married, my dad, I remember Nasi, I think
for the first weekend.
So my dad umbona on a Sunday ngiyati, and then he tells me, no, ngiyajabula mfana ngokuthi awakhohlwa ukuthi you are able to do things on your own, you are able ukuthi uti-ayinele.
Yeah.
Hayi ukuthi ngoba sekunemfati wena usakhona uti-ayinela, usakhona kuti-washela. So those are the things utawufika emshadweni utitshele ukuthi kunetinto lesogcinile kutenda, kunetinto ngeke usapheka, ngeke usendana.
Yeah.
Kanzi your partner akasiko ready for my expectations akho lana.
Yeah.
So we learned from our guests ukuthi let us adjust, let us
and
be able to accommodate each other.
Yeah.
Sikhone ukuthi sibone ukuthi okay lokhu kuyakhona lokhu akakhona.
Yeah. I think on the same note, before we move on to communication, baby, I'd like to also highlight we appreciate what our husbands do nasingakoni as wives. It says you respect and love me when you stand up to make your own cup of coffee nangabe nje kusiwa khona lokunye lengwendawo or you're making coffee and you're making me coffee as well. My husband does that literally all the time. When he does his evening tea, he makes sure to ask me, would you like some tea, honey? And I'm like, yes, please. And you know, those are the things that just make this whole friendship, deep friendship that we have for each other so beautiful and so fulfilling. It's the little things, you know. Kutsi nangalesikhathi ungakagadzi nje kutsi utowenda info so wendile yena, you know, not because uvangazi uthi umfati angati I don't know, I don't even have a bad word in my head to use right now, but ngetinto leto letincane nje lenitendako as our husbands that just make us fall in love even more with you guys.
Yeah. So as my wife said, Gogotsi, the other thing we picked, it was the issue of communication.
Yeah.
I remember somebody said, one of our guests, communication is deep, and bona, when they went for counseling, the only thing that they were told about or by communication. So most of our guests, they really touched on the importance of your communication.
Yeah.
In whatever as a couple that you do or you want to decide, let us try ukuthi awungaqhamuki when make decisions.
Yeah.
Communicate with your partner and agree ukuthi okay, this is what we are going to do.
Yeah.
Kwenda nalo ukuthi the issue of my expectations is buyakuyo. Ikhona ukuthi addresseke kahle because you have opened up.
Yes.
Ukuthi okay,
yes.
Mina ngicabanga ukuthi sithanda swami asende nako.
Angeke sisicambe manga mbukeli sithi there's always going to be agreement. Sometimes as you try to communicate, you reach a wall that you cannot pass through because you know, you are just not able to agree. I'm not going to say do what the Gamedzes do, but it's advisable to respectfully try to just calm down, nobabili, in whatever topic that you're trying to discuss or scenario that you are having. It's always advisable to just, you know, just let it slide a little bit, cool off, and then come back to the issue. I think don't run away from issues. Like to agree namuhla or to agree to disagree doesn't mean because most of the time a lot of the inward or unhealthy decisions that a person then ends up taking you know. My husband and I usually then just say, you know what, honey, let's just take time to pray about this, especially if it's huge decisions. You know, this thing has a repercussion for generations to come. We'll just take it back to God to say, you know what, this is what me and Senzo are wishing for. But as as individuals, and then we'll try to just make sure we come back again to pray as a couple to say, God, please just help us, guide us. And then usually it doesn't take long before one of us can say, you know what, honey, you were right. You know what, you were right. Let's go along with your idea. In the communication, it's just to be open, you know. Always right, because then I think that's not communication actually.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the time you are having a conversation right. You should also have some time to look into yourself.
Yeah, communication it's a two-way sort of, it's a two-way thing.
Yeah.
I would say if you're going to come and communicate something, but then you are not able to listen to the other,
yeah,
concerning what you are communicating, it's no longer communication. So yeah mbukeli sesiyikhulumisile indzaba tinto mhlambe lesititholile kuma guest ethu. I just want to share with you mbukeli ukuthi as a man as babe Gamedze, I think one thing I would say ukuthi I would advise mhlambe umbukeli ukuthi as a man let us learn to respect our wives or our partners.
Yeah.
Because most of the times one thing that has failed us, we could see as much as God has given us this title, we are the head of the family. But inhloko, when you realize ukuthi inhloko ayibi nje yodwana igonqodo yodwana.
Yeah.
But this head was given a helper, which is the wife. And for coordination, yale nhloko ukuthi ikhona ukuthi ibe ne direction ukuthi okay, this is where we are going.
Yeah.
It needs the neck, which is the assistance. Ngokuthi neck ya assist ukuthi okay, we are turning this way. Then the head is making, somehow I would say it is making a decision, but there is a coordination.
Yeah.
Ngokuthi kune communication ngokuthi okay, my neck now, this is where we are going, then the neck will allow.
Lokunye lokukhulu lengafisa kukusharisha with umbukeli ukuthi, you know, as you receive respect from the leader of the home, it becomes easy to even honor. But it's so easy to also be in error in terms of not honoring your husband or honoring your life partner. Kulula kakhulu to stay in the position of dishonor and ungakuboni wena ukuthi kurong kangakanani. But a lot of the blessings that the Lord has promised to us as married couples, they come from the coordination lesakayishito Senzo ukuthi as babe Gamedze respecta Sibusi make Gamedze, a lot of the things become easy, like le fluid yale relationship, le oil and le relationship, it lasts even longer, is also being able to honor and just don't fail to honor consistently. It gives the fuel to the husband as standalone and to the marriage as a couple. And I would also advise umbukeli to pray. Please pray for marriages. Pray for your marriages. Ungayekeli ungatsinwa ukuthandazela umshado wakho, because a lot of the times the enemy is just there to whisper a lot of ideas in our heads as young couples, as recently married couples and young couples, even old couples. Bakhona abantu labadivorca sebashade bo 15 years and you're like, how bebasolo bendani, that kind of kwetfuka, you know. But as we keep on the loving each other and honoring each other and respecting each other, the fun, having fun together. Make sure you have fun with your husband, my dear sister. Make sure you plan, have beautiful plans for your marriages, like your anniversaries. Do things together. Go to shows together if you love shows. If he loves things that you don't love, try to find where lan khona klangana khona, you know. Have something that you both enjoy doing together. Travel a lot. You take pictures a lot. Take videos where you can. I couldn't have not mentioned that. Yeah. So just enjoy each other, but gufunze lo enjoy lo hlethi naye la khaya kapho.
We enjoyed staying with you. We love you so much as the Gamedzes.
So much.
We are blessed ngokuthi nithathe lithuba lokuthi nihlale nathi and believe in our vision.
Yeah.
We hope to see you soon by God's grace.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.